Welcome to Aliveness, a portal devoted to embodied creativity, sensual awakening, and what it means to feel fully alive in your body and your life. I'm Ingrid, and this is a space for presence, curiosity, and connection. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Aliveness, a digital portal and community where we uncover and deepen the feminine body, creativity, and what really brings our aliveness to the forefront. Today, I'm joined by my bestie girl, Sarah Catherine Baker, who I have known for years and years now, I think since 2021. And since then, we have gone through our 20s together. We've traveled together. We work together now. And Sarah, we clearly spend a lot of time together. And I really see her as a relationship where we can really be truly in yin and yang energy and we're synchronistic and we reflect each other's magic back to each other. And now, Sarah Catherine, and the way that I know her now, she's chief of staff at What She Said. She is a community builder, she's a community fortifier, and we're here to
Mm,
talk about what that means. What does it mean to be in community? What does it mean to be in friendship, in relation to, and what all of that entails when we are living the lives that we live and, trying to be everywhere all at once because we have big, beautiful, juicy, dreamy lives that we are cultivating for ourselves. So I hope you enjoy and we'll get right into it. How are you feeling, babe?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm so happy for this conversation. I put a lot of prep into this too, like
Ooh,
mentally, spiritually, emotionally, literally,
energetically.
energetically,
I can
all the
feel
things.
it. You beautified your space too and got cozy for me,
Yeah, I
with
did.
me.
I did. Intentional. Everything here was intentional. You inspire me, so I really was trying to bring
Hmm.
your energy into my space.
Yeah, and it does actually feel like I'm sitting
It
right in front of you.
Oh, it's like you're on my couch. This is cute.
Well, cutie girl, welcome to Aliveness. You are the first guest that I have on in this new
Oh,
iteration of this creative portal that I've created for myself on the digital realms of Substack and Spotify and all of the platforms now.
I feel so honored. I actually hadn't even thought about that part. Thank you so much for having me.
Of
Wow.
course. I mean, you and I both know that this has been a long time coming, like having conversations that we have in our intimate space and comfort as sisters, and then coming on to a microphone and being like, hey, we have something to say. Yeah, that feels very resonant. And I can't imagine doing it any sooner, actually. I feel like we're so in such a beautiful place in our lives that it was meant to happen right now,
Yeah,
like this.
for sure. Absolutely. As I was setting up this space, I actually was thinking about that too, like just reflecting on all of the last few years of friendship and just life, but then like even just
Mm.
thinking, yeah, how many times we've talked about this and how I feel like the humans around me have been feeling a lot of like, oh my gosh, January so far,
Mm.
and a lot of mixed energy around it. And I know for myself, I've been like blindly just like, here I'm gonna keep going. And I feel like I sat down for this, yeah, like probably 10 minutes before you got on and was like, oh my gosh, this is the first time in like weeks that I'm like,
Mm.
this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Okay. Like
Mm.
I had a remembering in my body, like a literal knowing was like, oh, coming on this podcast with Ingrid and talking about this is like, there's nothing else I should be doing right now, like total peace and presence. So I'm so excited to, like, yeah, just be bringing this to life with you.
Oh, this is so good. I have a very similar experience that I went on a walk. Oh, I went on a run and then I slowed down and went on a walk and listened to a song called For Lover Girls, which I need to share with you. It's by Olivia Moore.
Thank you.
And I was on the mountaintop in complete solitude and taking a breath of fresh air. and like thanking the moment, thanking the wind, thanking the environment and like the growth and maturity that has happened over the last 2 years.
Hmm.
And like you've been such an anchor and a steady person throughout that journey. And 3 years ago is exactly to like when our lives completely changed and for different reasons and
Hmm.
different themes that came up for
Hmm.
us. But I do think we've been a beautiful mirror for each other
Yeah.
because, for those who don't know, SC and I are both Libras,
Hmm.
and literally your birthday's a day before mine.
Hmm.
And however, we are so similar, same heart, same values,
Yeah.
but so different. And like, which like says nothing, like tells you nothing, but we'll get into that. Um,
I'm sure we'll reveal ourselves here in just a
Yeah.
moment.
And it's like yin and yang, so
Yeah.
yin and yang. We've talked a little bit about virtual community and friendship and mirroring each other, but specifically, I know that we and you have expressed a lot of your own desires to talk about community and to kind of untangle that web and what is networks and friendship and community. And then we have coworkers, and then we have just this big web of dynamics that we're all navigating. And there's like there's a there's something happening in our society, in our collective,
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
reframing the way we do it, the way we approach it.
Yeah.
It has even become so, it has become like the capitalistic nature of America and the global economy has even like tainted or just affected the way that we look at relationships as like
Yeah.
relationships of extraction
Yeah.
versus a reciprocal, cyclical
Hmm.
way of relating. And I
Hmm.
just want to give you the floor on like where did this like seed come from of like you wanting to explore this and like figure not figure it out because like no one's ever gonna figure it out, but like yeah,
Oh
just
no,
like
I'm a
express.
one. I would like to figure it out. If we could figure it out today, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yes, I can do some. How did I, why do I care so much? I think, well, it's a little bit, can I say a little bit about me and
Of
maybe
course.
like, okay,
Please.
yeah, like what maybe led me to caring so much? Um, well, I'm outgoing. I won't tell the world's longest story here, but I do think it's important to know that like this has always been who I am. And so it's always mattered deeply to me how other people are affected in the rooms I walk into, or how other people feel around me, or the environments I create, or how I show up for people in my life. I played soccer from the beginning, and like team sports drills team into you. And
Mm,
that is your community, that's your family, that's your friends, that's your coworkers. Those are who you spend most of your time with outside of your family. And then and I didn't go to traditional school. So like I leaned heavily on this team as my humans. And then my family's very close. I have cousins, and so there's always been a very big sense of community in my life. It's been very important. My parents knew all my friends. My
mm,
house was where my mom would feed us, and then we'd go out and hang out as friends, and then, like community was a pillar of shaping what I cared about and who I became. I've always carried leadership-ish positions, right? Like, which requires community, requires interaction with other humans, and is not a solo sport. Um, and I think well, where was I going with that? I think community. Okay, let's backtrack. Hold on. We get to career then, right? And I'm looking at what I care about, and you're told to pick things that you like. I don't know, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of opinions on how to pick the thing to do with your life. And I like people, so I chose communication. And then I, worked with people, I worked with young people, and I've always cultivated the importance of that. Now, it wasn't until I got into these leadership positions, though, that I feel like I started recognizing. I told Ingrid earlier today, it's a mirror, another mirror in our life of all of the things we're good and we're bad at. So it wasn't until I kind of maybe came into more intimate, deep community settings or leadership positions within communities or like that next level, like being in there for a moment, I started realizing we all think about friendship and community differently. And as somebody who's deeply feeling, and this is where Ingrid and I, like, very much so are on the same page about how we approach life, like, I have lots of feelings. And I am astounded to be alive and experiencing life every day. So everything is very deep and felt inside my body, right? Including and especially the people around me in community and friendships. I walked into a lot of communities then as an adult with, I think, just different expectations than some people and was met with maybe I didn't have the insightful tools yet to dissect what it was doing inside of me yet, but it just started challenging my definitions of friendship and community. It started challenging what the purpose of them was. It started challenging the role they played in my life, how I positioned them in my life, how I showed up for them. And because I'm a feelings deeply person, I haven't always like talked about these things. So this is me talking about these things. But Ingrid's somebody I've talked to for a long time about these things. It it it's something that is so interesting to me, baffles me. I don't understand it. I have so many questions. I have a lot of opinions now. I feel like I've like formed a lot of opinions out of good experience. But yeah, I think it's so deeply tied to how we show up in the world, our community and friendships. They just affect us on such a deep level. And I'm using those words, so maybe we back up even now and talk about like what that even means to both of us.
I was just about to say, what does community and friendship and networks
Right.
mean to you? And like, where did those meanings that we
Hmm.
assign to these words come from and how were they built for you?
Totally. I, there's a conglomeration of everybody's experiences that like brings them to who they are today. Like, I'm from the South. I'm from a very traditional family. I had, different influences that it developed my expectations of other like human interaction, like what we were all bringing. My definition of friendship was something that I thought extended to all of my community. And that sounds harsh, I feel like when I first say it out loud.
As in,
Like
like, all of your friends are your community or your
all
community
of
are your friends?
all of my community are my friends.
Okay, okay.
And that's how and we can get into shoulds as women in community also, but that's how I thought it was supposed to be. I thought we were all kind of given this manual at the beginning. We all were like, our parents sat us down and were like, this is how we treat people. And then we just went out and we just did it. And I being naive and also just like, I don't know. Yeah, learning how to be human. It was my I don't know, thing I had to jump over in life. Like navigating why everyone I walked into a community and not everyone felt like we were supposed to be best friends, but I felt obligated to be best friends because I thought that's what community was. Whereas in reality, so then it leads to a plethora of like miscommunications, disappointment, and unmet expectations, or, putting hope into a group of humans that are not meant to play a role in your life. But I thought because of my now sitting here talking about it, what I think is like a lack of embodiment, ultimately, put when I walked into a community because I was not connected to body and self. I put the expectation of fulfillment on community. Which then, when you think of friends and community as the same thing, and you don't have self, you then are just so terribly lost.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And what did friends mean to you?
Friends,
Or I mean, I guess you kind of said the same, like they were the same thing to you.
yeah, I honestly I don't know. I kind of guess I just thought like, and again, I guess I say it sounds harsh because I'm like my parents are the type that like would give the shirt off their back to their friends or their community. Like
Mm-hmm,
they are
mm-hmm.
those kinds of people, and I love that that's their heart, and I love that I carried some of that with me. But I also think like then you learn about boundaries and you learn about purpose and community and network and yeah, you kind of can get to reshape what those things are supposed to play in your life. Um, and that's where I guess I've probably been at for a little while now is
Yeah.
unlearning, relearning, taking the good, leaving the bad. My parents didn't give me anything bad. They gave me how to be a good person. And that's a
Mm.
great place to start. And I'm very happy that's where I started. I think I would rather err on this side to, like this fits me. I get it why I am here. you know?
Yeah.
But I do think you have to at some point step back and look at all of the humans you're interacting with, look at your goals, look at who you are, and then kind of organize accordingly. But maybe that's just me.
She's like, actually, this is a true story. SC has called me and been like, so I made a list. I made a list of community, of my current active community members and like where I'm
I
pouring my
did.
time into.
I did.
And
I started
like,
listing everyone I knew.
did. Which, by the way, like that's a beautiful process. That is you, us, like literally trying to like process this internal inquiry that you're having of like where you're pouring and energetically and spiritually and what is reciprocated, what isn't. Um, where are people's expectations not being met, including my own? And I this has been such a theme for a while for us, especially just like in our 20s. That's just like what everybody talks about and is navigating going entering
Totally.
adulthood.
Totally.
But I do want to like where you said women and the shoulds.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that start to emerge for you as you were building your career, as you were in a bunch of different like communities that were apart from work? Like I'm thinking of like when we were in book club together.
Mm-hmm.
And then also like friendships. Because even I can say like we worked together. Like me and you were
Yeah.
best friends and we worked together.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we also play a dynamic where we're kind of like coworkers, collaborators.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first met, we met at this book club. So like
Mm-hmm.
we've been through a lot of different dynamics together and like it's so real actually it's so fucking beautiful that we get to morph and transform together and like you just get it energetically that we have to go into these other archetypes when we're in these other settings. I don't know
Right.
if everyone that I come across can do that, you know. I think it's a very energetic like synchronicity that we're on.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that, yeah, it goes back to the beginning of our conversation where we're like, yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why, but like, I get it. I get you, you get me, we get it. That's great. No, it's beautiful. Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, where did like those shoulds start emerging? Where did
Good. Oh,
like when you got to career, when you began to immerse yourself in these other communities and you were like, wait, these aren't my friends? Or are they my friends? Or, you know, the question started appearing.
right. Where did the question start appearing? That's a great question. That's a good question. Um, I honestly, maybe it was book club. That I was yeah, that might have been the first time because like anything before that was probably like a job or like there was which is the definition of a community, right? Like the shared experience, the shared space. There's a common purpose that we are all interested in something We are all deciding to gather about a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is something outside of us that
Yes.
we have all decided I care, and so therefore I will participate. Like that's community, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
when I got into book club, which is a community, oh my God, I was so excited. I mean, there were so many cutie girls I just wanted to be like best friends with, and I was new to town. I had just moved. I didn't know anyone. And so I was like, I'm gonna do this like I do everything and give you my everything I ever had. And like, and
Yeah.
that includes every free time, that includes any event that they've posted, and then there's birthday
Mm.
parties, and then there's group texts and make sure you answer, and you know, there's never ending things when it comes to community because it's made up of humans who are alive and moving through the world, and we'll keep having birthdays. Like this is community. But I had only ever experienced communities where it was like, we've decided to show up, therefore I will show up. And so then when you go to a book club where there are 20 women and there are 100 things to show up at, I felt such shame and guilt for not showing up, for not texting back, for not with every little single thing. And that was not a single person's doing. That was mine. Like I love those women. Every single person in that book club taught me so much about life and love.
Mm-hmm.
um
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I noticed when I felt so much guilt inside of me for not being what I thought was a good friend. Like I thought I was supposed to just be a good friend. And again, you have to bring those definitions, I think, into this conversation to know what you're referring to. And I honestly think it's important to start referring to definitions like, beforehand.
Totally.
And maybe that's my like awkward self who I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. Can you tell me, do you want to be friends or community?
Wait, shut up. That's so. Wait, do you actually? I feel like that actually. I do
I
believe
kind of
you.
want
I
to
believe
start
you.
doing that. Yeah, do you want to be friends or not? Because it's
Mm.
all good if you don't. But like, I didn't start that community in that way. I started with the assumption I am supposed to show up for you and be your best friend. And if I don't, I am doing something wrong. And as a one, as just a eldest daughter, as just my makeup in life, I wanted to do everything right. And I didn't want to disappoint any of these people. So I burnt myself out so
Mm.
fast. And but like people light me up. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm so fascinated by people. I love community. I'm like a community hater who loves community. Like I get it. I have a lot of issues with community, but like it's incredible. So I think I just like poured a lot into things that were community. So my any work, any job I had, those people I also wanted to show up as friends. So there I've started blurring, not only have I started blurring community meets friendship lines, then I've started blurring work meets friendship meets community. So I have work over here that I'm like, I got to show up for these people. These are my new friends that I've met.
Mm.
I've got to show up for these people. These are my new friends that I've met. And then next thing I know, I'm one human with like 8 million things going on and completely unable to do any of them because that's too much. And it piles. And if you don't have, I didn't yet have the tools, this is 6, 7 years ago, to one, articulate what I was experiencing.
Mm.
But then two, didn't understand the differences um, that I wish I had kind of, I don't know, I learned a little bit the hard way in those scenarios. But and we can get into that too, I'll be honest. But yeah, I think the blurred lines created the shoulds come from culture. I think the shoulds
Mm-hmm.
come from man-made things that we've been instilled from the beginning of our yeah, of not the beginning of time like, oh, I'm alive and therefore the people around here are like, yeah, this is how we show up. Culture. And I think my particular culture maybe encouraged that way or didn't discourage the other way. It didn't encourage boundaries.
Mm.
So I learned
Ooh.
that.
Yeah.
Um, I think all these things are tied together though. So I'm like, where do you want to go with this conversation?
Yeah.
We can keep going.
I'm curious on what you mean by you learned the hard way and where you're at now.
Okay, great.
Because also, bitch, like let me also preface to the audience is that this also eventually became your job title,
Yeah.
and you were literally head of community,
Uh-huh.
and
Mhm,
and whoa,
mhm,
I'm just like making that full circle moment of like, and now she's chief of staff, and like that's
mhm,
overseeing and managing community within the
mhm,
organization,
mhm,
like crazy.
mhm. Yeah, it is crazy. It
You
sure
really
is.
said, I really love community.
It's so much. I'm gonna just and that I actually that's exactly what I did to community. I was like, this
Mm,
is the thing because I don't know what else to hold on to, right? Because there's that lack of
right.
embodiment, that lack of understanding of like, what even am I experiencing? Like, why am I not? Nothing necessarily was happening other than I would say there's like a maybe there's a through line of miscommunication throughout
Hmm.
all of these things. And I think that stems mostly from me. That's me learning the hard way. But not for lack of trying. Like I think I quite literally have not known or didn't know at the time what
What the
was causing.
communication expectations were? Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the role of the person's role that they played in your life was then defined for you too, because it was
Yeah.
all just blurring.
Yeah. And I can't keep up. Like no one can keep up with everything. So yeah, I loved it so much that I made it my job. And um I so that was about 2 years of building community, which is,
Right, because you were new to Austin, like you were
well,
building your career, or like, yeah.
I was newer to Austin. I had been here for a little bit at that point, but that's about when I started with What She Said. And
Okay.
so I met Britt and Emily, who are, I mean, some of Ingrid and I's favorite people on earth. We love them. That's the founders of What She Said. But I met them. They hired me in Austin. We did an awesome event. And then they live in Denver and Kansas City and hired me to, yeah, grow this Austin market. And it was just me, which is totally fine. We're a startup, right? Like, we're not going to hire 87 people right out the gate to just like go network. So here I go. I wanted to do a really good job.
Yeah. And like so and you but were you already would you say you were already in a state of burnout from like the previous managing of community?
In a personal way,
Yeah.
totally.
Okay. So then
Absolutely.
now but then now you were like, okay, let me do this professionally. Like
At
this is
this
what I love.
Right. But at this point, though, I am absolutely resenting most of my friends. Like at this point, I am
Hmm.
like, I have friends, I love them, and also they confuse me. Like, I have community, I love it, and also it's the most frustrating thing to me. Like, I don't know why and it probably has to do with like just this fascination with understanding community better and understanding people better. Like, I didn't actually not like book club, but going to book club caused such turmoil within myself because there was so lack of connection to self that
Hmm.
like putting myself in environments of community, putting myself in environments of friends was just like constantly burning me out because I was saying yes and not understanding who I was in those environments. So just like
Right.
exhausted leaving everything. So I became a community manager and said, I'll do this more. Well, maybe I'm just not doing it good enough.
But
I
you
don't
know
know.
what's crazy? Actually, like you said, yeah, let me do this more, but you had maybe what you loved too is that in a professional setting, you had a defined role. You had KPIs and objectives to meet, and you
Right,
had like an actual definition to
right.
like lean on,
Yep.
and maybe that's what you loved about it too. I don't know, I'm
Loved it.
just
They
gathering.
said, go yap, go just talk them up and go do your thing. So I went to every networking event I could. I'd squeeze in all that I could and just like hustled my little butt off on like community eventing and planning community events and making connections and taking the phone calls and answering every email. And yep, I can totally jump on that just to meet every single community builder, community
Whoa.
human that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, the calendar's another conversation, but if y'all saw my calendar at that point in time, it was really rough.
And color coded.
But she was organized. I had to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just really dove all in because I love people, but they're so confusing. So then my network becomes also part of my life. And so then network is now confused with community. And now community, we still never figured out, are those my friends? So now I've got a huge group of humans that know my name and I know theirs. And we have a way to contact each other. And I now go home every day at this point in time being like, I am obligated to be this person's friend. So I have to now show up for this person however they ask me to show up.
Mm.
Which I think is really big because again, I'm taking every phone call, I'm going to everything I'm invited to, I'm networking my butt off, like community building. And what I thought was community building, I was networking.
Mm.
And I was community building because in my heart, I have made all these humans that I love dearly.
Yeah.
um, but it was networking, and I put a lot of my personal self into it without the embodiment piece still, and then started, yeah, probably like just resenting people. Just really like not wanting to leave my house. I'm like, y'all are exhausting and everyone wants something from me and I
Mm.
can't keep up. I can't give every human all that they need and want from me. Everyone's asking too much. And as somebody who doesn't like, I am a lot. I love being a lot, but it made me feel bad about myself. It made me feel like I'm letting people down. I
Mm.
don't really know who's in my corner. I don't really know who my friends are because I thought I had a lot, but I don't think I have any. Like, this is very confusing. Does anyone know me? Like you just
Right.
start going personally. I mean, yeah. So, um, that led to here.
Led to this moment
To
now.
this moment in time where I don't like anyone, and somehow Ingrid decided to have me on to talk about friendship. No, I'm just
Well,
kidding. Yeah, go ahead.
well,
You.
yeah, yeah. Like, I am curious of like, how has that now affected the way you show up now and like the way you tend to your relationships now? Which, by the way, like, we are in relation to
Yeah,
the earth. We are in relation to our siblings. We are in relation to our mailman. We are in relation to everything. So, and to ourselves first and foremost. Um, and as your best friend, I can definitely see that you have now the voice, the embodiment piece, the knowing of self. But because
mm,
you also had to like take some real ass time to yourself
uh-huh.
and in silence, saying
Hmm.
no to absolutely everyone,
Hmm.
texting back absolutely no one, and saying no and like to
Yeah,
I don't even know if I already said that, saying no.
yeah,
And now it's landed you in this place. And what is this place? Like, how do you manage your relationships
yeah,
and while also like making sure, like, do you communicate expectations now? Do you
yeah.
still
Like,
have
how do I?
that same guilt?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Like, how are you still in relationship? Like, well, I have no friends other than Ingrid. I'm just kidding. I have, the embodiment piece is imperative, and we can talk about what that looks like because, um, that's where it starts, right? Is the
Hmm.
honesty that allows you to start looking inward. Um, but then I would like to, before I like go into answering this question, I do want to reference something that's important to me is I remember hearing I don't know, years now maybe. Glennon Doyle on her podcast Untamed referenced one time. It was actually when she was going through something and was right in the middle of it. Like right in the middle of the hard thing, and she had not found the solution and had not found resolution and was not totally certain on how to get through it. Was like positive, we'll get to some other side of this. We'll get somewhere. But she came to that podcast and was like, I know a lot of people who would come to you after I figured this out and not show you the messy middle of the
Mm,
experience of it. But I just want to be honest on this podcast that, like, I am in the messy middle of it. I am
yeah,
not on the other side of, like, well, now I know. Let me tell you how to do friendship. Let me tell you how to do community.
totally.
I
Totally.
absolutely have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Like, I do because I've done a lot of things wrong and I have a lot of, I think, good opinions. I've read a lot of books. I've listened to a lot of people talk, but I absolutely do not have all the solutions on this subject. So as
Hmm.
I go into this next part, just know that I like yeah, I just hope to be honest here as we keep
Yeah.
talking about this subject.
Yeah. Thank you. What a
Yeah,
breath of fresh air, especially like just with the romanticization of arriving to some godly answer
right.
of like, I know it now. But it's really just lived experience and cyclical living and reflection and going inward and then also going outward and
Right.
practicing and testing and seeing what lands, what doesn't. Do we like this? Do we like that? And like that is also the beauty of like fucking life and like the
Yeah, totally.
experiences. Yeah.
Right. Like if you figured it all out, how boring.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
what else would I obsess over? No, I, yeah, I think it's important to note that I have a lot of lived experience and have done, yeah, a lot of things wrong to learn the hard way, but have like, I do think I have some insight on this subject now, but I by no means know the answers. So, um, remind me what the question was. Now I've like,
Paint us a picture of your navigation and of
yeah,
relationships now and
yeah, now,
how you live them.
right. How you do that? Not well. I'm just kidding. I
I mean, give it to us if you're like still
girl,
like, no, I
I'm
really don't
like,
do it well.
no, I had to send an apology Slack today because I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like so doing my best here, folks. My heart is in the right place, man. Yeah. How do I do that now? So I'm chief of staff and I am a solopreneur and I am um a community member of the Austin ecosystem. I have community and I am a friend. How do I do it now? I did have to start saying no. And the hard, when I reference like I've had to learn things the hard way, I have burned bridges. Absolutely. I have burned bridges. I have said the wrong thing. I have not shown up when I should have. I have not sent the text that I should have. I didn't apologize when I should have. Like, I absolutely have avoided hard conversations. But I do think I can honestly say at this point, I love honesty and I love hard conversations because I would much rather us get to through that and know we can be friends.
Mm.
So that's where I look at my friends now. Like I look at Ingrid being able to call me a few weeks ago and be like, I just wanted to let you know that you know, it was a long thing, but you know, I had hurt her feelings about something that I, you know, the way I had said something had just like kind of hurt her feelings. And so valid.
Mhm.
Not my heart. Ingrid knows that would never be my heart. I love her with all that I have. Like, and so she told me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you told me because I didn't even think about that. And I definitely didn't mean to. So I will totally be aware of not trying not to do that again. Like, totally, I messed up. Ingrid's my best friend. We I don't know. We've not talked about it until right now. I brought it
Since,
back up.
yeah.
Yeah, we just moved on because like we were
Totally.
honest and we just moved on because that's friendship to me. So that is a good indicator for me now who I will hold deep friendships with, who I will show up for when it's inconvenient for myself, who will.
Hmm.
Those are the people I'm willing to yeah, have indifferences with and still love and make a sacrifice for, or let in to know me on a deeper level. I think the honesty piece is like some people need to gain trust before they tell you all of their deep dark secrets. I would like to hope I'm trying to get to the opposite of that personally in my
Mm-hmm.
own journey of honesty. But I think the more I get closer to that, the more I'm able to see these are my friends and this is
Mm.
my community and this is my network. It does not mean that I don't love all of these people. Like, I love people. So, yeah, I'm going to love the person that I met at the networking event. And if she needs something, I'm probably going to try my best to be there for her.
Yeah.
If, but like, that cannot come over myself.
Yes.
And it can't come over, for me personally, myself and how I operate in the world, that wouldn't come over my friends or my family. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean I'm like, I literally helped a homeless woman the other day. Like, it doesn't mean I'm not like, I'm heartless towards community. It just means I've recognized inside myself that I don't have capacity to be everything everybody wants from me. Therefore,
Mm.
I'm done trying. Therefore, I will acknowledge that I'm going to move through life in the most loving, kind, honest way I can. That requires me to be alone a lot because I have to know myself in order to show up as that self. Therefore, I have to say no to some things.
Mm-hmm.
And that is inevitably going to disappoint people. It is inevitably going to burn bridges. It is inevitably going to, you won't get every opportunity because you can't be everything. And it's Ingrid and I's longest joke is like, I'm fake, which is like, love to talk about because it's hilarious that that's the thing that I joke about myself.
Well, yeah, you have to like give the context now.
Yeah, I'm not fake. I'm very real. I'm fake in the sense of like, I'm good at showing up. You know what? Let's back up. I think this is important to talk about. I want to start where we're sitting at wine.
Stop it. Okay, yeah, yeah, go for it.
Can we start there?
Absolutely.
Ingrid's my best friend. I don't even know how this conversation started. Uh, we're trying
I
to talk about,
think, yeah, we're probably just talking about the usual shit of
yeah,
being a human and a woman
being,
and relating to everything.
yeah, no, literally like being alive. Ingrid goes, "Can I tell you something?" I'm like, "Yeah, what you can tell me, buddy?" She goes, "Yeah, like, I'm just be honest. It's like it's hard to be friends with you, I think." Okay, great. That's what I'm giving off. And she goes, "No, no, no, let me explain. Do you want to explain what you meant by that?"
Yeah, and I think this is like a long time
Yeah.
running kind of like exploration that we've had and witnessing each other because back in San Diego, like 2 years ago, we also had a conversation around being fake and like
Mm-hmm.
being good at showing up, performing,
Mm-hmm.
and putting on the smile, making the people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then those people leave feeling like they have a friendship with you too.
Right. Right.
And then so what I was reflecting to SC is that like I feel like you give the energy that you're a busy woman. You have places to be, people to see. You're co-building a startup. You are at everyone's networking event except for, and then there's always going to be that one person that's like, oh, well, except for my thing, except for my thing, except for my thing. And
Right.
and I think this goes back to like Glennon Doyle also talks about this, about having access to people and
Oof.
expecting access 24/7, daily, weekly, even monthly, like shoot.
Right.
But
Right.
and where can we communicate with our friends of like, hey, I actually don't like to operate that way. I don't love catch-up calls. I'd rather see you in person and live a life experience with you than talk about our life. Which I have
Mm.
seasons where where I do lean into that, and sometimes other seasons where I do want to just talk on the phone and FaceTime for 3 hours.
Which is
But
perfectly fine. You're allowed to oscillate between all
totally,
those. Yeah.
exactly. So it's like just being very open and real about where we're at.
Yeah.
And I wonder, with me, you're very real, and I know where you're at because we have that relationship. But I wonder if other people are left with question marks about where you're at and like
Yeah.
why you're not showing up for them. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's like
Absolutely.
my little tidbit.
It's such a good point into like how we're showing up in the world. I mean, it really challenged me. I think about it probably every single day because,
Dad, my favorite thing, I'm joking, is like telling people what their edges are.
oh, yeah. Just want to let you know, this is what people are saying about you. Like, come on.
Which, by the way, never, never, like, it's never about what
No,
other people say. It's always about like what Essie and I like talk about in our
absolutely.
real experiences.
Oh,
But
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Um, yeah, I think the being fake and it's hard to be friends with you because and I just know that I'm not the only one that's experienced this. So there's just that's why I think it's okay. And I know this is not everyone's experience,
Hmm,
but I
hmm.
know this is also not just my experience. So I am this way to everyone I meet. And I think that's okay. I'm not yet concluded on, I don't have a conclusion yet on how I feel about that because every time I show up not that way, it feels inauthentic.
Totally.
This is very much so my personality. I'm
Yeah.
very talkative. I talk to our Uber driver. I make jokes. I like to,
It's
I
so
like
funny
to,
too, because like every time Essie will like get in an Uber and like have a whole life conversation with the Uber driver. I get in an Uber by myself. I'm trying. I sometimes say, "Hey, like let's like talk," and
hey,
they. I'm like, I have the opposite. We've talked about this too. Like I have the opposite effect where like people don't talk to me. People don't not talk to me. And whereas like Essie's like, no, bitch, like I'll be at the airport sitting next to someone and like I've been there where like you just have a whole people approach you and start talking. You have just like this aura that invites people in and it's warmth and it's sunshine and it's like that laugh. So I agree. It's not even a performance. It's just like literally who you are. But maybe what other people might perceive it as like a performance.
totally. And that's where the kind of the joke about like I'm fake kind of comes
Yeah.
in. Totally. And because I'm not. That really is how I am. Um and I know a lot of women are. Like especially
Hmm.
women who are like I don't know, I just have my experience, right? Like Southern women are supposed to and taught to be cute and
Mm.
quiet and precious and likable. And I didn't get the quiet part, my parents' chagrin. But like I I look at the world I grew up in, and oh, zoom in, and it mimics that. And so I tried to show up as that, right? And that actually just happened to be my personality. Like I love this is I don't want to change. But then I struggle to meet people at a networking or community event, and I am a secret introvert.
Hmm.
I am outgoing. I am introverted though, and those are not the
Yeah,
same thing.
totally.
And I didn't know that about myself either. That has been my embodiment journey too, is learning and honoring that of myself.
Well, yeah, I was so surprised to see that in your notes of like, I'm like, oh, she's identifying as an introvert. Like,
I'm
interesting.
not
Up and
trying it on.
she's trying it on. Yes, which yeah, that like heck yes, like let's do more of that, you know?
Right, right,
But instead of like thinking we have to define ourselves and put ourselves in this box and that's how we're gonna be forever.
right.
Um, yeah.
I think totally like getting yeah, give yourself permission to evolve for sure.
Mhm.
Sorry, my dog's right here now, so she's joining us.
Cute.
Um, I think what do I think? I think you have to get to a point, and this comes through the embodiment journey. This, I don't know, maybe some people just have it easier and they just show up and they get it. And so maybe I'm asking too many
Mm.
questions, but I do think, which is very possible, but I do think like you, um, sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around the way I want to say all
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Um, I think you have to just be okay with being not everyone's cup of tea. I
Mm.
think you have to be okay with the fact that you're going to disappoint people. I think you have to be okay with the fact that, and maybe I'll always be on this journey, right? Like maybe you're never okay with it because it hurts every single time I disappoint someone.
Mm.
It hurts. I'm not over that yet. But like, I, if I really am wanting the most out of my life and wanting the most out of I want you to have the most out of your life and you to have the most out of your right? Like I want the best for everyone. Yeah, it starts with honesty. And I think for just a long time I was not honest with myself. And I was trying, and we're all trying, and we're all on this journey. And I hope that it's just there probably is no arrival, right? It's just a constant honesty journey for me of recognizing things within myself and then trying my best to pattern that then in the way I live.
Yeah.
Um, but if you're not recognizing things within yourself, the way you then show up and live is going to be all jumbled up. It's going to end up getting confusing and frustrating, and you're going to get burnt out because it doesn't make sense yet within yourself. I just like it has to start self it, and then the rest almost follows. Like your people find you. Like
Yes.
there's never once that I've questioned whether Ingrid, like, if something I said was too much for Ingrid to receive. Like
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
meanness, not like,
Mm-hmm.
confronting you or like just the me of who I am. I
Mm-hmm.
know that is not too much for you. And therefore, we can create a friendship. We trust each other. We can keep evolving this thing. I don't have that connection with everyone. And nobody, all the people don't all have that connection with all the people. And
Mm-hmm.
so the sooner you can be honest within yourself, the sooner the community, the networking, the friends, I just think start to make more sense
Yeah.
and start to feel a little bit more pieced together and less confusing. Um, because you then operate from an aligned place. Like you then show up. I'm comfortable now showing up at a networking event with all of my energy and whole humanness. And I can also go home and be okay with not feeling obligated to go to coffee with every woman I met in that room.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's not fake.
Whereas before you would,
Oh, I wouldn't
yeah.
sleep. I mean, I was the worst workaholic ever because I couldn't keep up with all these people. I'm like, good Lord. I just couldn't
Yeah.
keep up. And I don't think anyone can. I don't think we're supposed to. I think it's supposed to be. unique and fluid to who we are. And like people
Yeah.
come and people go. People are here for seasons. People are not your everything. Like my partner's not my everything. My family's not. I am me. It's
Mm-hmm.
me at the beginning of the day, me at the end of the day. Like
Mm-hmm.
I cannot show up in rooms. I can't show up in community. I can't show up in mm, friendships thinking, and I don't think that's selfish. I think that is like the honest and like a way to move into relationships with integrity. Like, don't be like, it's almost crazy that I used to can you like to be so like the fact that you were friends with me for so long when it's just like mass chaos coming out of my mouth probably constantly. You're like, nothing you're saying makes sense. Like, she needs help. Like, you know what I mean? Not really, but like so unself-aware, so unembodied, so
Mm.
chaotic, so
Mm.
unhappy, so unsettled. And now I just feel like, and maybe it's turning 30, but you're not 30, so I don't know. Some people I think just figure things out differently. But like this is my cross to bear is my frustration with what the heck are humans. But yeah, I think the embodiment thing and the honesty thing is where a lot of this starts.
Yeah. And like to know, we all just carry different swords and we're going to different battles. And like
Mm,
for me, like there
yeah.
is
Yeah.
I had a different upbringing. Like I
Yeah.
grew up with the most introverted, non-social parents ever. And I joked that I told my mom that the other day. I was like, I think you're the least social person I've ever met. And she was laughing. And we were just like our little family of four.
Mm,
However, at school, like in elementary school, I just innately was like the little social butterfly, the Libra, the flirty little
hmm
girly, like
hmm
just that ball of radiance and joy.
hmm
And then, though, when it got stripped away from me, when I started moving and became a teenager and had other battles like eating disorders and confidence issues and X, Y, and Z, that and it got stripped away from me, community and like friendship.
hmm
I like that like because that happened to me now as an adult, I know what it's like to oscillate from like being social butterfly at school and then also being stripped of it completely. And
Yep.
so there I did come into balance of like what do I
Yep.
actually want? And it's so important to me. It's such a big pillar. And I think it has been though like also a figuring out for the last 10 plus years. And right now I do feel really good of where I sit with my relationships with people. I also think that I also think that like my relationships with people are so varied. Like
Mm,
the way that I communicate, is it a FaceTime? Is it WhatsApp text? Is it a text message? Is it going on walks? Like everyone has their own preferred channel and the way that we like
totally.
meet and merge and like share life with. But
Totally.
because ever since I moved to Mexico too, like I saw that change happening with my friendships that were in Texas, my friendships
Totally.
that were just away and like not in close proximity. Also, Mexico does communities so differently. This is
Right.
like to them, and I have a lot of friends who I talk about this with. I say a lot of friends. My two friends that I talk to about this, who are like born and raised in Mexico,
Mm,
they are like Americans are silly. Like, why do we like? They're like community is just a natural part of life. Like,
right.
it just is. There's
Right.
nothing to like contain or figure out about it. But that's
Mm,
because in Mexico there is no boundaries. There are no boundaries. Everything is a social event.
right.
You make time for people always, and it's just like
Right.
you don't need to set aside a separate container that on Mondays at 7 p.m. we're
Yeah.
meeting at the park and we are gonna play volleyball. Like
Yeah.
organized community is not really successful here because
Right.
people are hanging out and seeing each other all the time anyway. Like
Right.
yeah, okay, yes, like I think with the new generation, the running clubs are emerging and like I can see organized community happening, but I remember like it's arriving here and being like, wait, but where are the third spaces? And it's like, well, everything's our third space. And when
Mm,
you meet
hmm.
friends, you don't go out to dinner together, you invite them over to dinner. And you don't
Right,
go and get a beer. You like go and have game night at,
right,
at the pool in their neighborhood. Like it's so
right,
much more like, no, like we're inviting you into our life. We're not going to this separate space where like we're not like that's not, that's not the point of this. The point
right,
is to like be in
right,
each other's spaces.
right.
So I think that clicked a lot for me. And I also still like to hold my individuality because here that is very blurred. I do still hold my
Mm,
individuality of like solitude and introvertedness and like I mean, for a long time, I was like battling social anxiety and again, the self-esteem. And now I'm like, oh, what? Like, there is no right or wrong. I just am. I just am. And I just show
mm,
up. And the people who I'm meant to talk to and the people who are meant to be in connection with me will appear. And like, we will be in open receiving. I open up my heart every time before going into a space. And I know that whatever's in magnetic resonance will like land with me or I will land with them. And that's just like because I trust. And also like I am also maxed out on friends. So like I'm like I have a lot of friends that I need to keep up with that I want to
yeah.
nurture, that I want to tend to relationships that I've had for years and years. And I would rather spend more time and energy there. And like, I saw a TikTok the other day of like, what a blessing it is to travel, to be able to travel, like to have somewhere to travel to see your loved ones. Like, you get to get on a plane
Mm,
with your suitcase and go see them in another pocket of the world. Like, that is a beautiful blessing. And a lot of where I find myself on a lot of those types of trips and ways to merge with my relationships because everyone is so spread out. Um, but yeah, and that
I
actually
think
even no, I was just gonna
no,
say that.
I
Sorry, there's a lag.
no, you're good. Keep going, keep going.
No, I was gonna say that this is also something that we've talked about around like you and I have gotten closer now that like we don't even live in the same country.
Won't that challenge your view on friendship? Like, and community. My goodness. I, I love the way you say everything. And this is why I love that we are different because I love hearing you talk about, yeah, like the different cultures affect all these things. The different makeups of who we are affect all these things, right? Like this is very much so my personal journey, and this is very much so my like uh unique perspective on what I've like experienced and how it's affected me, right? You have a really beautiful balance in Mexico, I feel like, just observing and hearing you of what community and friendship could look like. I love I visited Ingrid in Mexico. I guess was it last year, I guess? Good
For
grief.
my engagement party, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was gonna like shout you out and say that you visited me every year ever since I moved to Mexico, and like in 2 weeks it's gonna
Oh,
be again like year 4. So
absolutely. Because this is what we do. Okay? This is friendship. This is friendship. We can't do this for everyone, but we can do this for our friends.
absolutely.
I loved watching you in your community because it is so beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, it's so loving and it is very culturally different than what I grew up in. And mine is so loving. Like the Southern culture obviously is very like I have a big family. Everybody loves, yeah, come on in. My family's wonderful. Your community in Mexico right now is just really life-giving and feels very like it flows. It feels very easy. I feel like you've found like a really good balance and groove of what works for you as far as your mix of virtual communities, your relationships with girls you work with, which is all virtual, and your in-person communities. And I feel like you've taken a lot of pressure off yourself over the years. And like you said, you just started doing like doing you, and it flows very naturally as I watch you kind of navigate life. I would say where I'm at now with community is this evolution past my current experiences, which is I work with a lot of people virtually. My friends are pretty virtual. Um, my partner and I travel. Neither of our families are from Austin. Um, my dad lives in Europe. We are all over. And that has challenged my perspective on community as well, since I've built so much in one place.
Mm,
Um, and it's probably been the thing that also worried me the most about leaving Austin was,
mm,
well, like, how do you operate without community then? Like,
mm,
I've put so much value, and and it is valuable. It is so valuable. Like, we need a village. You need humans. You need to
mm-hmm,
be in community. It is
mm-hmm.
vital, I think, to health. Like, I really think it's like a pillar of, yeah, you can't isolate yourself. That's crazy. But how do you create space for a balanced version of community and friendship? You know what? Take friendship out of it. Friendship is how do you create a balanced version of community? 'Cause friendship feels easier. I can call Ingrid on the phone. I can text Ingrid all day, every day. Like, there's 100 ways to get in touch with my friends. Like, I know these people. There is less avenues to getting in touch with community in a way that feels not like a burden. It feels flexible enough to modern life and replicates authentic connections and is like it is now the challenge of yeah, our modern world of how do I create something that works for who I really am? And how do I get to have community, but also not miss out on my life? If I've learned anything in the last few months of living in Austin, like, if you want a village, you got to be a villager. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, you cannot not show up and think that you're going to have friends. You cannot not show up and think you're going to have community. I promise you, if you stay at home for 6 months, there's not like it will start to go away. Like, it will. And I've witnessed that like in my own life. So how do you keep showing up in a sustainable way, in a way that matches? I love traveling. Traveling is a value of mine. I learn from traveling. It is a gift. I am blessed. I've built a lot of my life around the ability to travel. And that is equally as important as community. So how do I live in relationship with both of those things? I think you have to figure out a balance, right? Like, you figure out a way. You can't do it all. Who said this? Somebody said this. Not somebody important, maybe. You
Oh,
can't do it all.
like
You
you
just can't do it all
can't.
at the same time.
Yeah,
Or
you
something.
can do it all, just not all at once. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
how, like, okay, we can do it all. I can travel. I can create the life I want to make for myself. I can be embodied. I can live a full, beautiful, community filled life. I just have to create the world in which those things can exist. And I have to choose that now. Um, that's
It
now
isn't.
kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's an act of choosing. And I I made the comment earlier around Mexico and like the perspective that I've gained from here. And I also see the duality of like the American culture and individualism just insidiously eating up at any form
Totally.
of community. So these
Right.
organized ways of meeting and merging and connecting have to exist because
Yeah.
otherwise the solitude and the loneliness epidemic is real.
Very.
So I totally want to note that. And you said yourself too, like we have to choose it. And
100%.
the choosing each year we become better and at discerning what is it that we really want? What is it that we really desire? How do we want to be loved? How do we want to connect? How do
Yeah.
we like to give love and like
Yeah.
to offer ourselves? And that is a constant like Yeah, like I have friends in college who I loved so in a very different way. Like the way I showed up is so different to now how we relate and connect now. And like that is an art. And I do
Yep.
see relationships as like an artistic process with two authors, and we're two, both paddling the same ship if you both choose to get on the ship. And sometimes people dip and they're like, peace, I don't want to be on the ship anymore. Cool.
And it's all good. I'd rather you tell me than, paddle us off the edge. Just let me know. Let a girl know. That's all I'm saying.
Totally.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do love the thing that you said about radical honesty, and it is a constant checking in, checking out with yourself and then with the person you are in relationship with. So yeah, I don't know, I'm really happy that we've been able to like go inward and like really unravel and like pull the thread that has been here for a really long time.
Yeah.
Especially as two Libras who like approach it so differently. Yet
Yeah.
again, going back to what I said at the beginning, but we have the same heart and we have the
Right.
same, yeah, like the shared values, but like they're expressed in different ways too,
Yeah.
even. So,
Yeah, like getting to witness you do this is my teacher. Like getting to that's why you need like that's one reason you need community is like I don't have all the answers. We don't. And like if you isolate, if you don't pursue community, if you don't show up, yeah, I think you're selling yourself short. Like you're missing out on witnessing and learning from other people. And there's so much joy and love in that. And it doesn't have to lead to an obligation to be everyone's everything. It can
mhm.
just be a shared human experience for that moment. And I
Yes.
think that's really cool to give yourself permission to experience those things and take the pressure off of like, what's the outcome even have to look like? Like, it can just be you and I connected on something we both love. And so we see each other once in the same space where that thing is happening. And like, we just keep it moving like and we can like
Yeah.
acknowledge how beautiful that experience is. I'm excited for Ingrid and I are going, this is too personal, Ingrid and I are going to art week in Mexico City, and I'm so excited for how it challenges my view on community and like humans because I think it's going to be very community and I think I'll probably never see these people again, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how the beautiful art that comes from those kinds of connections. And the beautiful friendships that also might come from that. Like you have to put yourself in environments. You just have to
Yeah.
also know when to say no. You can't go to every environment.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and I'm so excited for our week as well.
I know.
I think we're going to be expanded, and I think we're going to be inspired, and I think it's going to be an
Yeah.
opportunity to flow more than
Yeah. Yeah.
ever. Especially
Yeah.
being it is literally art week, so there's a bunch of muses and artists and out of the box thinkers, who are yeah going to expand me, and I think I'm already like I already sent Essie some links for like
Oh my
what we're
gosh.
going to be up to.
I know. I was like, what have I gotten myself into? This is not something I would usually go to ever, ever, ever. And I'm so excited though. Yeah, I think it's really like, it's very much so going to be challenging for me. But it's like, it is going, you have yeah, I don't know. You don't have to put yourself in environments like that. Absolutely not. But my goal is to expand my perspective on community, and my goal is to be in community with other humans just experiencing beautiful things. And I don't do
Yes.
that as somebody who doesn't do that often. Like I am a naturally black and white thinker. I'm a naturally like this has to fit in a box, and if it doesn't make sense then it must not be right. And to be surrounded by creatives, and I'm creative in my own way, but to be surrounded by a different kind of art and freedom and expression of human experience, I am like so excited to like just observe and soak it all in.
Me
I'm so
too.
excited.
Me too, sis.
Yeah.
I'm excited for like when we get home from like what of the day, and we're gonna have the like wind downs we're gonna have on the couch or on the. I'm not even gonna sleep with Sai. I'm going to your room.
Yeah, you're sleeping in my bed. Yeah, we're having a sleepover. Forget him.
And we're just gonna like just the downloads and the codes, and we're gonna be
I
like,
know. You know what I'm
And
excited for?
what?
I'm excited to watch and like witness you experiencing this. Is that weird? I'm like excited to be there with my friends and like watch them also have this human experience. Like
Yeah.
I love you so much that I'm excited for you.
I'm excited to see how you'll receive it too. Also, it's my first time too, and like
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect. But like I going back to like our polarity and like
Right.
where we differ, and like I'm excited to witness you in this more environment that this environment that does push your edge a little. So like I think that's like beautiful that we're both like
Ingrid's
thinking about
always
the other person. Yeah.
Yeah, Ingrid's always trying to push my edge. She wants me to get more tattoos. She wants me to get bangs. She's just like, yeah, emo it out, girl. I'm
Actually,
like,
are
yeah,
you
you're
gonna
right.
get yeah, you are you gonna get bangs before exclusivity?
I wasn't going to, but because you have bangs and we're gonna be in Mexico, I'm kind of like, should I just do it?
Yeah,
Like,
they
I'm
grow. They
fine.
grow
They
back. Like,
grow.
yeah.
And you could show me how to style them then.
Absolutely. I'll take my brush and my
Hmm.
glitter.
Sounds
Um,
like a plan.
I can't wait. I want to ground us into what we've been building these past few
Okay.
months
Hmm.
and where the inspiration has come from, which a lot of it we have talked about already. And we've said the word, we've tinted at the word of what we're building. And we're building this program called Balance. And I do want to pass the mic to SC to share more about what it is.
Okay. Oh, well, we have been working on it for a little while now. And you know, it's funny. I think we started working on this a long time ago and didn't realize
Hmm.
it. Like, the
Agreed.
more it's evolved, like, just like this conversation, like, we had no idea we were working on this. And that is like, that gives me chills. That's like, oh, that's what I want to feel. Like, like, I want
Yeah.
that feeling. Um,
Yeah.
we have been working on something that um, I think it's important to create things that you need because you're not alone. And
Totally.
it's going to be the most authentic thing you can create, I think, because you understand it from a level of a different level, right? We're creating a virtual uh, community mastermind cohort coven of women that we're going to walk through 6 weeks with. Um, 12 women that we, um, yeah, want to support and hold space for and give tools to and be a mirror to, and a sounding board to, a support system, a community. Like,
Hmm.
we want to create the space because it's been so imperative to our growth in our lives is having the right environments to get to grow our businesses in
Yeah.
and learning how that is not the only journey you will go on as you grow a business. So, our solopreneur journeys have led to our embodiment journeys, which have looked very different of each other. Ingrid and I, if you haven't caught on yet, have very different strengths. I am not the creative and I am not the visionary, but I can give you some structure. So we've been working together at a startup outside of this work. We've been working together actually on at a business, building a startup for the last 2 years now. So we balance each other really well. Ingrid is the creative, the visionary, the creative doula, the somatics, the embodiment, the poetress, the she is all of the heart and love. She's all the sweet, lovely, wonderful things. You are though. And then I'm here to implement some rules. Just kidding. But no, how do you see it? That's what we're bringing to life. We're really, really excited. I'm so excited to hear Ingrid talk about it also from her perspective because
Yeah.
yeah, we care a lot about this.
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, you honestly worded it beautifully, and I want to also give you your credit and flowers when the time
Thank you.
comes because yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this without you,
Well, thanks.
honestly. And the six
You
elements
too.
that we want to explore with y'all in the 6 weeks are around cultivating more balance in the themes of the temple, the body as a temple, play, creativity, community, leadership, and of course, work. And well, I have my notifications on and they just interrupted me, but there's going to be a lot of movement and pleasure and yeah, somatic grounding that we come back into the body because we've talked about the embodiment piece and how it is so crucial and like level one base level to know yourself and to know your body and to be in connection with your body.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I will bring in the somatics, but also SC brings in the portion of strategy and operations, and she's organized and she's like, but how can this actually be grounded into practical daily life? And what
Yeah.
does it look like in work, in
Yeah.
leadership, in these roles where we are responsible and have to be in integrity
Right.
with ourselves and with the team and like yeah, so we've both worked with over the past couple of years in our solopreneur journeys with women who are high caliber, high performers,
Mm-hmm.
who are probably oscillating between different sides of the spectrum of like burnout or
Yeah.
absolute utter burning everything to the ground. Like
Yeah.
you're either burning it yourself out or you're burning everything else to the ground.
Yeah.
Um, and how
We
do we
know from
find
experience.
yeah, yeah, no, literally. That's why that's how it was built and it's how this idea and cohort and program came to fruition of like
Yeah.
our lived experience. Um, so this is going to be a our pilot program and we are welcoming 12 women and we are opening up the doors to register today now that this episode is dropped and the link will be in the description and on social media and all of the ways in which you can find us. And lastly, I just want to name that Essie and I have always kind of like you said, we've always knew we wanted to work together, or like we knew we had such complementing strengths that we were
Yeah.
like, we have to work together. We have to do something. We have to build something together. This just feels
Mm.
so too synchronistic to not. We would be
Yeah.
doing ourselves and the collective a disservice. And so this is our iteration, our first body of work that we're like, here you go, come join
Here.
us, and like, let's do
This
this
is
together.
all I got, you know. I don't know much, but I'll try my best here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
really excited to see it come to life. I think it's going to be really sweet and intimate and challenging. And yeah, I hope we can walk away from the 6 weeks and not just a cohort. Like, I want to, I want the women who show up to know that it's important work, whatever they're working on, and
Yeah.
that all of these practices are for everybody and affect all of our work and our lives. And it's important that we give ourselves the opportunity to yeah, enter spaces where you honor that and you get to evolve that and you
Yes.
get to work on it and you get to be seen and you get to try things in a safe environment and you get feedback from people who really want you to be successful and have seen people be successful. We've tried things the wrong way. We've learned things the good way. Like we hope to just mirror and hold space and give you some real tools to where this doesn't feel like another, embodiment isn't another thing on your to-do list, but is like the way you move through all of those aspects of your life.
Oh,
And it's been really powerful for us. So here
yeah.
we are. Here we go.
Here we are, and we are inviting you in. I like to say too that like I will hold the nervous system of the room and
Mm,
Essie will hold the map and like she will bring the clarity and the structure and like orient us to like where we're going and where do we want to go. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, this will be like in very much like an artistic like creation that we do together along with everyone that joins. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yay.
cutie, is there anything else you want to share before we log off?
No, this was good. I have so many things to say about everything ever, but like this was such a good conversation and so exactly what I was hoping for. So I love you so much, and
Mm.
I'm so thankful that you're creating space for all of the goodness and the hardness that is life, and it's all really beautiful. I love everything you're creating. So I feel really honored and blessed to get to do this and have this conversation with you because I just adore you. I think so highly of you. So thank you for
Mm.
having me.
Thank you so much. I love you.
I
Sending
love
you a
you.
kiss.
Mwah. Besos.
Ooh, okay, that was, yes. I taught her well.
She did. She did.
For more from this body of work, subscribe to Aliveness on Substack and follow the podcast on Spotify. If this episode resonated, share it with someone who would feel it too. Thank you for being here. Besitos.